Hi, my name is Kelly, and I took this opportunity for a project this semester to look at hemp. I specifically set out looking to find how hemp, grown out in fields as opposed to undercover, compares to other row crops such as corn in nutritional needs. The botanical name is Cannabis sativa. Its most famous cousin and closest cousin is marijuana, but also hackberry and hops are family members of Cannabaceae. This flowering herb is an annual, dioecious C3 plant. Millennia ago, hemp originated in Central Asia and slowly spread across the world. It was brought to the U.S. in the 1600s. As defined in the Agricultural Improvement Act of 2018, the 2018 Farm Bill, the term hemp means the plant species Cannabis sativa and any part of the plant, such as seeds, all derivatives and extracts, whether growing or not, with a delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, the THC concentration, of not more than 0.3% on a dry weight basis. That 0.3% THC threshold is the difference between hemp and marijuana by law. This is especially important because marijuana is a Schedule I controlled substance under federal law. These two farm bills removed hemp from the list of controlled substances and reinstated it as an agricultural commodity. But that also means that if the THC exceeds the 0.3%, it is no longer hemp and will be destroyed. We've gone a long time without growing it. What's so interesting then? All parts of the plant may be processed for a range of uses. From the stalks, they harvest long bast fibers and short hurd fibers. And one thing I've had experience with is paper making. You can see this half stuff from Twin Rocker, a hand paper making company, and you can see the fiber there. You can also make things in textiles, shoes, clothing, and industrial textiles like rope, nets, tarps, etc. The leaves can be made into teas, but more widely used for mulch, compost, and animal bedding. The seeds can be made into seed cake, a protein flour, or animal feed, although that's currently illegal. The whole seed contains about 25% protein, 30% carbohydrates, 17% insoluble fiber, carotene, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, sulfur, calcium, iron, zinc, vitamins E, C, B1, B2, B3, B6. Hemp seed is also a great source of essential fatty acids, like omega-3 linoleic acid, omega-6, and gamma-linoleic acid. There are a number of personal care items on the market now, like soap and beauty products, moisturizers, bath bombs. There are also medicinal uses for hemp. CBD harvested comes in many forms, including oils, extracts, capsules, patches, vapes, and topical preparations that you can use on your skin. Scientists have taken note of the reports from people that CBD can reduce anxiety and are now creating anxiety studies. There are studies that suggest CBD may help with falling asleep and staying asleep. There are people claiming that it helps with chronic pain. From the European Journal of Pain, there's a study that suggests that CBD could help lower pain and inflammation due to arthritis when applied to the skin. Other research identifies how CBD may inhibit inflammatory and neuropathic pain, which are difficult to treat. There are studies that address CBD and addiction, the fact that CBD can help lower cravings, like for tobacco and heroin under certain conditions. There's your hemp starter kit. Now let's set up to compare it to corn. From the grass family, Poaceae. This plant is an annual flowering monoecious monocot and is a seafloor plant. Corn was domesticated some 9,000 years ago in southern Mexico. So why then compare hemp to corn? Industrial hemp grows well in areas where corn produces high yields. I've spoken with local farmers who've shown an interest in growing hemp. We live in the Midwest in one of those dark green super productive spaces. Corn is big business in our neck of the woods and in the U.S. This graph shows what a significant contribution to income that corn plays in the U.S. The number of acres in the U.S. devoted to hemp versus corn is a small fraction of 1%. However, the income from hemp as a percentage of the income from corn is higher, All parts of the plant can be used, creating zero waste. They help regenerate the soils and can significantly improve the advantages from crop rotations. Hemp cultivated for fiber has a large root system, which is deeply distributed in the soil. This helps improves the porosity and mends the soil structure. Research shows that hemp can decrease parasitic nematodes and reduce the presence of pathogenic fungi in the soil. The high density of the leaves help reduce water loss and soil erosion. Hemp has shown value in ecological restoration because of its phytoremediation capacity, its ability to remove heavy metals from the ground. Of the many problematic aspects I bumped into doing this research, I have found claims about pesticides and herbicides. There aren't many studies, and there certainly aren't many approved for use with hemp. An interview published in the Journal for Integrated Pest Management and also Entomology Today highlights what we don't know. Quote, "Since industrial hemp has not been cultivated in the U.S. before, pest management in this new crop is an area in dire need of research." End quote. Another sticky spot I found in my research is a crop that could potentially turn out to be illegal and need destroyed. Big banks, big seed companies, big research, and big dollars perhaps are not as free-flowing in that direction because of such problems, potential problems. If you've hung with me this far and you're looking at the clock wondering if I'll ever get to the nutritional requirements, that has proven to be another sticky point. Different cultivars respond differently to differences in latitude and basic agronomic inputs. Input requirements also vary depending on the specific and final use of the hemp. The number of variables combined with the limited available research made this a very difficult question to answer. I did find some guidance from around the country. The University of Kentucky, for example, recommends 50 pounds per acre of nitrogen for fiber production, 100 to 150 pounds per acre for grain or flour production. Phosphorus recommended at 0 to 120 pounds per acre, and potassium at 0 to 80 pounds per acre. Penn State recommends 150 pounds of nitrogen per acre, 30 pounds of phosphate, and 20 pounds of potash. Central State University Extension in Ohio recommends 50 to 100 pounds for fiber, 100 to 130 pounds for grain, and 50 to 100 pounds for flour. And again, the rates for phosphorus and potassium broken out by the end use of the crop. Pictured in green, according to the U of I Extension, these are needs for corn. Both nitrogen and phosphorus are higher than the requirements for most of the university extensions listing for hemp. I did not find nutrition guidance for hemp through the U of I extension. I thought I would find some solid, clear, accessible data that I would compile and share with everyone. What I found are gaps in knowledge due to regulation and prior classification, gaps in processing facilities, gaps in peer-reviewed data supporting claims, a distinct lack of information for hemp in the U.S., and specifically in Illinois. While it's not nearly a satisfying end to the story, I feel like this quote might summarize some of what I'm trying to say fairly well. Regarding management, is it fair to say there are more questions than answers at this point? Yes, every answer seems to lead to more questions. What are the biggest management challenges for industrial hemp? There are so many. Pest management is a huge challenge, but growers need to be able to successfully produce the crop first. Right now, there's a lack of infrastructure for the crop as a whole. Industrial hemp is a legitimate alternative to many products. Anything from fabric to plastic can be made from hemp. Some companies are building processing facilities, machinery, and all the other infrastructure necessary for a new crop. Having properly labeled pesticides available is a challenge, as industrial hemp won't garner the attention of huge chemical companies, but smaller, newer biopesticide companies may be more willing, as will those that focus on specialty crops. Watch this space. I predict the future holds more and better information.